How could David kill Goliath with a single stone? How is it even possible that a boy could kill a huge giant whose clothes were more than 50 kgs in weight? Well, it's a mystery to many people who can't even imagine such a thing happen in real life. But today we'll see that the Bible will show how real it was to them and how relatable it can be to us in our own lives. Firstly, David was not a boy. He was a young man in his youth, a mighty valiant man, a man of war. But although he had not fought any war, but he had faced many fierce animals, which even the brave would think twice to strike. He was a young man who had killed a lion and a bear all alone with his own bare hands. He was a young man of a warrior mindset. He was courageous and bold enough to go after and search the lion and the bear who had taken the lamb from his flock. He went after them. Have you ever heard about such men who are of a warrior spirit, without fear? And David was like such a man. He was like such men who are still amongst us in the present times. Now coming on to Goliath. He was a giant. But unlike what you would have heard or imagined, he was not 20 feet tall. He was not the size of a building. Bible gives his precise height. It says whose height was 6 cubits and a span, which would be around 9 foot and 9 inches, which is huge in size, but it is not humongous as you would have thought or imagined in your imagination. Also notice, Goliath was not a supernatural being. He was a man. He was huge in size and strength, but he was still a man. He wasn't a pure human being, as probably was born of a fallen angel and a human woman, but still he was a man and he could be killed. Now let's see what were the secrets of the success of David. Pay attention now. It is the most important part now, as God is going to show you some secrets of the success of David. The first thing was that David had an unshakable faith, conviction and confidence in God. He was totally convinced that the God of Israel would give him victory. But notice, he wasn't born with this faith. It's something he got as he walked with the Lord in his life. His confidence in God was on the faithfulness of God in his life. He was fully confident that the God who had enabled him to kill the lion and the bear, the same God will also give him victory against this giant. He had experiences with God. But notice, they were not supernatural experiences yet, but they were surely extraordinary experiences. And he remembered the faithfulness of God through these experiences he had in his life. Now consider carefully what David did. He didn't just go to kill the lion and the bear for fun. He didn't go to kill them to show off among the people that he had killed a fierce animal. He went after them because they attacked his sheep. There was a great need, that is why he went. He didn't went to kill them to show off to the people. And this time also, when he was facing Goliath, he just didn't go to challenge a giant to show off himself. He didn't go to show how brave he was. But notice what he said. Seeing he, that is Goliath, had defied the armies of the living God. He was angry that how can any man challenge the armies of his God? He would not allow nor could tolerate such defiance and arrogance against his God. He was a faithful man towards his God. Then the second thing is, he trusted in weapons and tools which he had already proved in his life. He trusted in the training which God had given him, with tools which God had trained in his life. When offered with the sword and armor of King Saul, hear what he said. He said, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And then it says, he took his staff in his hand, and his sling was in his hand. You have to consider here that when he was offered with the best weapons of the king of Israel, he did not accept those, as he knew he himself had not tested them in real life situations. He was not familiar with them. So he relied on his tested tools, the tools which he used every day in his life as a shepherd. He was clear about his strengths. He knew what he was good at. As a shepherd, he knew how to use a swing very well. So he focused on his tools. He did not go on to get the weapons of a mighty king. That is why he knew very well. As a shepherd, he knew very well that the smooth stones would help him to hit the target accurate and hard. And we know what the word says. David hit Goliath so hard with the stone that it smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead. So the stone sunk and went inside the forehead or the skull of Goliath. David utilized his strength which God had provided him by his training as a shepherd. As a shepherd, he was trained in using the sling. He was trained in using smooth stones to hit the targets, to hit the predators, lions or bears which would come to attack his sheep. That is why he was very good at it. So he trusted in his training, in his tools which God had trained him. Now the third and the most important reason why David could kill Goliath was that he knew how God saves. He knew from his experiences that God would not appear himself to save him. He knew that God would not manifest himself and come in the physical form to save him. He knew that he has to fight for himself, and through him God will save him. He knew that God works through man. David trusted not in his own ability to fight the battle, but he trusted that God is fighting in his battle. And he just didn't sit there, but he did what he knew best to do. In practical life, whatever best he knew, he did that, and God backed him up. And notice what David said to Goliath. David said, "And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands." David knew that the Lord is not dependent on natural things or natural circumstances. The only thing he needs is a willing man who is willing to take action and who is confident in God. That's it. That is all God needs. God used a small stone and a young man to strike a giant precisely on his forehead with a force so hard that the stone entered his skull. This is very much possible in the natural, if done in a perfect way with the slingshot. Some would call it chance, that by chance David hit him perfectly in the right spot with the right stone. But it is not a chance. You have to remember that in the spirit God was working on his behalf. That is why he could hit Goliath perfectly in the perfect spot where he would die. Now even for you, in your own situations, remember your past experiences with the Lord. Remember that the same God who was faithful to you in the past will deliver you again. But consider, He wants you to be confident in Him, to be unshakable in His faithfulness towards you. And sometimes He may use supernatural experiences to deliver you, but mostly He will deliver you through your own self. He will deliver you while you are taking actions on things you know. So do what you know and He will back you up. So don't wait for the spectacular experiences, but take actions with the best you know, and He will get the job done for you. Because it is the Lord who doeth the works even through you. But if you are doubting Him and have unbelief in you, then how can He fight for you in the Spirit? How can He fight on your behalf when you yourself are not trusting in Him, are not confident in Him? He needs your partnership. He needs the full partnership of your free will. He wants you to freely choose Him. Remember the past experiences which you had with Him. Remember how He saved you. And now if you're the one who have never had experiences with God, you have never ever experienced the power of God or the presence of God in your life, then that means you have never answered His call. You have never called on Him. So call on Him. Call on His name. His name is Jesus, the Savior of all mankind. And if you call with all your heart, with your full heart, nothing doubting, then He will give you the experiences which will be worth remembering in your life. Now let's give a bonus point to you. Notice, David took 5 smooth stones. Just imagine, think about it. Why did David took 5 smooth stones? There was only one Goliath. Then why take 5 stones? The reason is because Goliath had 4 sons who were also giants. So David took 1 stone for each giant. He was so confident in his God that if the sons of Goliath came to avenge him, then David would kill them all, 1 stone after the other. See the confidence of this man. Surely this man, David, is worthy of respect. But this confidence, this kind of confidence comes with experiences with God, in trusting in God, watching Him do wonders in your life. If you have no experiences in your life with God, how can you have confidence in Him? So call on Him with all your heart, with genuineness, and He will manifest Himself in your life. Now please comment and share your opinions about this. Share your experiences with God. Let me know what experiences you had in your life. And could you relate to David? And if you need the free PDF of all the scriptures which I showed in this video, then please send a quick hi to contact@agapevalor.com and I'll share the free PDF with you.